What is vegetarian cooking? How can we prepare tasty meals without the use of meat? Aside from vegetables, what other ingredients to use in traditional vegetarian cooking? These are some of the questions a non-vegetarian person like me would like to know, especially during the holiday with family and friends. Hi, I'm Amy Ryman of Cupertino TV Productions. Today, we are here at the backyard of my guest. This is where she entertains not only her family and loved ones, but also friends and colleagues with her fabulous vegetarian cooking. Before you get to meet my special guest, let me tell you a little bit about her. My special guest is an excellent vegetarian cook who grew up in a small town of southern India. Inspired by her surroundings and family lifestyle, she pursues conscious consumption of goods and resources. She is an eco-entrepreneur and a business consultant who serves as board of directors for several nonprofit organizations that focus on educating underprivileged children. She believes the choices we make as individuals have a greater impact on the health of the planet. Always an enthusiast of simple and healthy vegetarian cooking, she has recently begun sharing tips and experiences in her blog on Instagram. Why don't we join her right now? I'm Amy Ryman of Cupertino TV Productions. I have here with me a next-door neighbor and a good friend of mine, and her name is Bungadi Subramanian. It looks like she has prepared quite an elaborate feast for us to sample. So hi, how are you?
Doing great, Amy. Love the weather today.
Earlier, you mentioned that you have prepared 2 appetizers, and this is the second one. Can you tell us what it is?
Sure. I try to make beet patties or beet cutlets, however you would like to call it. As you know, I approach food with a little bit of an irreverence. I always try to be very experimental with what I try to do, and the beets are filled with lots of nutritious micronutrients, which is which is essential for the body. And I love to use this as far as possible, as frequently as possible too. So one of the ways that I would do is make it healthy at the same time, tasty. That is something that you can tell me later whether it's tasty or not, right? So I just cook peel it off and make it into little cubes, and also onions, same into cubes, and I just pulse it in a food processor with a little salt. And then this is the bean, that is the garbanzo, that is soaked overnight and cooked and be ready, and this will be the binding agent. And I mix all of them, cook the beets and the onion a little bit on the pan, and add the garbanzo and mix it in with a little bit of salt. And towards the end, when it is slightly cooler, add the basil so that it will retain the flavor. It'll pack the flavor when you eat.
And then I mix green.
Yes.
Also make it,
Yes. And then I just make it like a pulp like this. What I do is these are falafel makers. Okay. So I just take them and press it down like this. Just a little tiny, push it out, and it just comes out like this.
That's so easy.
Yeah, very easy. Same. You just press it in.
And healthy.
When you are pressing it in, just go inside and pull it up, press it down, and then pull it out. That's it. 2 more. Just 1 more.
So healthy and colorful, and
yes.
And I
pull it
can
up,
tell it's
push it down, and that's all. So this has to be in the oven in 350. I would just bake it for 15 minutes because it's already cooked. It's just the flavors has to come together. That's all. So when it is warm, it tastes a little crispy on top and soft inside.
That make me hungry now.
Yes. So I also added a little bit of olive oil into the mix, not while cooking, but later on when I brought them together as a pulp. So that will help to make it toasty a little bit. Just a little
bit
olive
brown?
oil.
Yeah,
Just a little bit toasty. Just a little bit toasty and crisp on top. So it tastes very good when it is just fresh off the oven, or later also. It'll just maintain the crispiness.
Okay.
All right. Now let's take this to the oven, and also we will make the soup.
Okay.
Now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. It's for 350 and 350 Fahrenheit and 20 minutes.
Can you describe what vegetarian cooking is?
Sure. Vegetarian primarily means plant-based diet. That is what vegetarian means. So, which means lots of beans. There are so many types of beans, colored beans, and lots and lots of vegetables. Anything that is plant-based, and that does not include fish, meat, eggs, would be considered as vegetarian. So that's what broadly describes vegetarian is. So there is no animal based food that is included in the vegetarian food. But having said that, dairy is also an animal source, like it is coming from a cow or animals. But there are vegetarians in India who would consume dairy product and still be considered as vegetarian. And I've also heard some of the communities in India would consume also fish, but would categorize themselves as vegetarian.
Okay, looks like everything is hot and steaming. What are you going to prepare here?
We're going to make a soup today, peanut soup, with lots of vegetables and herbs, of course. So I'm going to start with sweet potato.
All right.
There are sweet potato, zucchini, and then Swiss chard goes into it along with the peanuts and herbs in it. So I'm going to start with the sweet potato. They're all going to cook together. This is a no-fuss soup, as I would call it. Most of my soups are no-fuss. Just put everything together. They'll just boil.
You can tell it's very healthy.
Yeah. Just adding a little salt here so that they can absorb. And I'm going to put a lid on, and the heat and the steam will take care of cooking. So I'm just going to do it. That's
How
it.
long are you going to wait?
I'll just wait for maybe a few minutes, and then I will take a spoon and stir and make sure they're all cooking fast. So. Ooh. I'm going to add the greens. Like I didn't add the greens early on because they cook very fast.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to add a bunch of greens in this.
Oh, that looks yummy.
Yeah. So the vegetables, again, it's up to you. You can add any
bok
vegetable
choy
to
or-
the, yes,
yeah.
yes, exactly. Any green,
Spinach or, yeah.
yes, and bell peppers. Any vegetable that you want to add, you can keep adding to this. At this point, I'm going to add a little bit of,
What's that?
this is the amaranth flour for consistency, but you can add pretty
Amaranth
much.
flour.
Yes, amaranth flour. I use this a lot in cooking, like especially in the soups and while baking and all I would use. So you can use all-purpose flour also, that's okay. So I'm going to put a lid on so
Just another
there is no loss of nutrition. As far as possible, I would steam cook the vegetables. Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
nice.
Perfect.
I am going to add the cooked peanuts to this.
Oh, that's a lot of peanuts, huh?
Yes.
That's where you get your protein, huh? Is that?
Yes. Peanuts also has a little bit of fat in it. And this is in the raw form, it's not in the toasted form. I mean, it's a cooked peanut. So let it all boil together.
And then add
I'm going to add a little bit of
some
salt
seasoning.
So when I added the peanuts to it, I had put like a spoon of dry herbs in it, like which is a combination of a little bit of rosemary, basil, and oregano mixed in it. So you can also keep it to, sometimes when I do Indian cooking, I would add the dry powdered coriander, cumins, in order to
Turmeric? You put turmeric?
turmeric, red chili. So I'm going to put a lid on again. So let them blend together, and we can add the coconut milk, and it is done.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Okay,
add the
let's see.
coconut milk. Careful, it's hot. So I'm going to reduce the temperature here and pour in the coconut milk. And once you pour the coconut milk, just a little boil is enough. I'm going to turn it off. I think our soup is done. So let's see once. Yep, a little bit of boiling is happening there. I will just mix it in, make sure they're all blended, and we are done.
Many non-vegetarians are wondering during a holiday, let's say a Thanksgiving, when most people have a turkey, a roast, or a ham on their table, what do vegetarians prepare for a holiday like that to put on their table?
There is a lot of option. There is a wide variety. We can bring a very diverse, colorful, table during the fall and the winter events. The ones that we do may not mimic the bird, but definitely there are many that we can do. It could be in the form of soup. It could be the baked vegetables. It could be the baked cornbreads. So there is a lot that we can, bring it onto the table and make it very colorful, very nutritious, and very wholesome at the same time.
And you can shape it like a bird too.
If you want to, yes, if you want to. I guess the flowers like the cauliflower and the broccoli are a perfect candidate. And I've seen some of the, sometime, they'll put the vegetables together and put it on a big platter, make it look like a bird. But if you want to, yes, there are many options like that. Very colorful options, like with the help of vegetables, you can bring those.
That would be fun and interesting.
Yes, very interesting, yes. And the raw mango, which is in season, and butternut squash, though it is a fall vegetable, in California you get throughout the year, and I keep them. It's such an easy vegetable for me. I eat it in the raw form, cooked form. So today we are going to use that in a salad. And then the temperature is amazing for making sprouts. The home temperature, I try to make home sprouts, start from the scratch, like soak the moong dal, which is the green bean, and then you keep it just a lid on, drain the water, keep the lid on, and they sprout beautifully within 24 hours or in 72 hours. The sprouts are so beautiful, and they are long like this, about like a quarter of an inch, and they pack so much of nutrients. So we are going to use all this goodness in a salad today with amazing herbs. Again, they are so fresh during the season. So let me start prepping this. I'm just going to make them in rough piece, like not too particular about the sizes, because I'm going to grate them now very soon. So these are the butternut squash, beautiful colors which are sitting here ready to go, and I'm going to start with the papaya. So I'm just going to pull some of them apart, like, oh, it smells so good. And now comes the the arranging part. Let's put everything together now, okay?
So basically you have squash, and you have papaya, you
Yes.
have mango.
Yes, I have squash, and then I have papaya. This is the papaya.
So you're using all green ones, not
All-
the ripe ones.
Yes, raw, all raw. Yes, papaya raw. Mango is already in there, and these are the beautiful sprouted mung bean. Yes, so we can use as much. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this here, and then now comes the beautiful lime. So let's use the rind. It gives such a good flavor. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt.
It's so colorful.
Yeah. And I'm going to add a little more sprouts. So that gives like the added benefit of protein and lots of micronutrients. There goes the herb. The goodness. And then I'm going to get some toasted pumpkin seeds. These are the toasted pumpkin
those are good.
seeds. You can add pretty much any. Sometimes I also just crumble a few walnuts and put it in that. And towards the end, I will just add like pepper, little pepper in it. Pepper, it's up to you. You can add more or less. And what I would do is, I like my salad so spicy. I would take green chilies, the long green chilies, the Thai chilies. I'll cut it up and add it fresh. Oh, Amy, you're missing that. I know you don't like spice, but okay. So I'm going to use the same lemon to squeeze some fresh lemon juice into the salad.
So with
Squeeze
the
it.
nuts, you give it some crunch.
Yes, some crunch. And the lemon, there
All
goes the
different
lemon.
textures.
Oh yeah, when you bite into it, you'll get all kinds of textures in it. Pretty much that's all. How does it look, Amy?
It looks great. You're making me hungry.
Ah. Okay, I forgot to add the apple. It adds a lovely sweetness to the salad. So here it is. You can make it small, big, however you want to. So I'm just going to slice it thin today and then make it into smaller pieces and throw them into the salad. So now the salad has grated butternut squash, all raw, and grated raw papaya, grated mango, small cut apple, sprouts, and then we have toasted pumpkin seed, a little bit of pepper, salt, and the fresh herb, which is mint. But you can layer it with more herbs based on your taste, and you can also make it spicy with the Thai chilies. But here is the goodness of all the micronutrients, which is great for the gut health. So I'm going to put it in a plate here now. A salad a day with all the micronutrients will keep the doctors away.
Since meat is one of the major sources of protein, how do vegetarians get their protein and where do they come from? What kind of sources do you look for protein in plant-based?
That's a very good question, Amy. There's a common misconception that meat is the primary source of protein. Yes, like meat does provide 100% protein, but there are lots and lots of beans which are plant-based, lots and lots of beans that are plant-based, which are very colorful, comes with a skin on it, which is very high in fiber, and if especially when you combine and consume all of them, the diverse bean group, when you bring into your food system. It provides all the different amino acids that is required for the body and the muscle building. And also it provides lots of micronutrients that is very essential for the body, for the hormone functions, and lots of other aspects of the balance within the body. And the beauty is it is available throughout the year in the dried form. You soak it overnight, and then they become very plumpy, ready to be cooked, and you can consume it any time of the year. This is mung bean. I soak this for about 2 or 3 hours, even 4 hours is fine. So I'm just going to blend this now, because later on we are going to make something like a crepe, and that's what this is being used for. I'm using the same water because you don't need to waste that water. They soak really fast because it does not have the skin. This is the split bean, which can be, which won't take much time to soak. Now comes the blender. It's very fine. That's all. It's totally done. So I'm just going to transfer this to a vessel. I'm going to turn on the pan now. I'm just going to sprinkle a little salt. So there is tofu and cut bell peppers in there. And now let the heat and steam do the work. Going to keep it at a medium temperature and allow it for like 3 or 4 minutes. Then we'll be done. I'm just going to get the herb.
You're using the thyme?
Yeah, so I'm just
They
going
have some juice coming out from the vegetable.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Especially bell peppers.
Yeah.
They are very high moisture vegetables, so there is no need at all. The herbs are there. Our mung pasta goes in now. Now is the plate time. So today we are going to make with the dried jackfruit, maybe a cup or something, and then like a quarter cup of cashews, about half a cup of shredded fresh coconut, and this is coconut sugar, like maybe quarter to half a cup we can add. And I'm going to peel this. These are cardamom pods, so I'm just going to peel them and grind them in that pestle a little later. I'm going to add like about half a cup or maybe slightly more, and just put them all in. Since they're already boiled water, I'm going to go ahead and start adding them into this. So they're just going to cook. They're going to take its own sweet time. So I'll allow for the cashews and jackfruit to soften and cook a little bit, and then I will add the coconut sugar, and the flavor would be the last one to go. These two I will add once they're like 50 to 60% cooked. So I'm going to put a lid on and let the heat and steam do its magic work.
And how long do you have to wait for it?
Maybe I would say 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, that's not too long, huh?
So I'm going to peel the pod and make it like a powder. We may need like about 3 or 4 of that, so that some people I have seen would just powder it with the skin, but it tastes best when you remove the skin and then make it to a powder. That's when I feel it packs so much of flavor. So it's done, it's powdered nicely.
What a good exercise, huh?
I wish just a little bit of exercise is good, but unfortunately cardamom powdering is just not enough.
Don't use it that much.
Yeah. Just going to open and see whether it's cooked or not. So the jackfruit has softened, but the cashews a little bit more. Yeah. So I'm going to add coconut.
Are you going to add coconut milk also or no?
We can alternatively add coconut milk also. Sometimes I do add the coconut milk towards the end. This is just we are cooking this just enough for the coconut sugar to melt, and maybe just one boil, and then we can use the hand blender and blend it, and they are ready to go. That's all. It's nice and caramelly now. This will thicken a little bit when it cools. So now I'm going to add the flavor. This is the powdered cardamom. I'm going to add this. Yeah, it's done.
This is the butternut squash sprout salad. Let me give it a try. I like the texture. It's very crunchy with the mung bean sprouts and some nuts. You can find recipes for all these dishes in Bungadi's blog on Instagram. Until next time, stay healthy and thank you for watching.